Okay, Dad. I guess the basic question just is, what does the Blackfoot River mean to you, and why is it important to you? What do you think of when someone says the Blackfoot River? Maybe just start there, and you can give us a little history about your relationship with the river.
I'll say the first time I was on the Blackfoot River was not my first time on the river, as I had grown up along the American River in California before it runs down into Sacramento. So I know a little bit about cold water, but I admit that I did not like the cold water of the Blackfoot when I came up here for my first summer working on my future father-in-law's dude ranch. And but quickly forgot about the cold water when I took the swimming detail with his daughter, wanting his mother.
When someone says the Blackfoot River, what's the image that comes to mind?
I have a special place in my heart for the Blackfoot River because of what it is. Clean and clear, full of life.
What's your favorite crossing?
This would be a horseback, would be below the swimming hole and what we call Swallow Cliffs.
Oh, that's a good one.
Just a nice place.
Yep, that's it. Hey, I'm Juanita Vero of the Ebarl Ranch, and why the Blackfoot is important to me. All the same reasons that my dad referenced, the physical beauty of it, a sense of place. This is where I've grown up. But also the story of the restoration of the Blackfoot is something that I lean on and seek inspiration from. I mean, in '75, there was an earthen dam, the Mycourse Dam, and it failed, and there was 100,000 tons of toxic sludge that went down the Blackfoot, massive fish kill, destroyed the fishery. It was no longer Norma McLean's hallowed waters of a river runs through it. But a group of folks got together to assess the fishery, and they were very concerned about mining activity in the headwaters, together and decided that they're going to restore the Blackfoot. And the way to restore it was recognizing that, yes, there's a lot of issues in the main stem, but the way to restore it was to work on the tributaries. And so whatever work could be done to restore the tributaries that had seen years of logging and dewatering and widening and shallowing and warming with ranching activities and logging and mining activities, to restore the tributaries so that they are narrow and complex and cold. If we can do that, then we can positively impact the main stem and then ultimately restore the river, which is what happened over 30 years. And in 2017, the worst fire season at the time in Montana state history, and most expensive, horrible drought and heat and temperatures and fire, obviously. But the Blackfoot, even though it was dewatered, it remained cold. And so we didn't get a big trout kill. And I think of that, and maybe there's other factors at play, but I really like to think that it was those 30 years of tributary work that ultimately protected the main stem during that summer. And we did not see negative impacts to the trout. And so what I've seen is that you have a more resilient, longer standing impact doing that tributary work. Focusing on the tributaries is something that the Blackfoot has taught me.
for me, it's the first things that come to mind are the cold, clean, clear water and wildlife, fish and raptors and everything that kind of survives with the Blackfoot, which was definitely my first exposure to the Blackfoot. Was pretty spectacular. When I first came to Montana, there was a lot of energy being spent on opposing the gold mine in Lincoln, and so there was a lot of thought towards what the Blackfoot meant, and it wasn't too long after A River Runs Through It came out. But one thing I really remember was promotional material in opposition to the gold mine that said, "The Blackfoot River is calling your name. Soon it may be screaming it." And I thought that was a bit intense, but it definitely showed me that people took real ownership in the river, and it was an easy river to want to take ownership in and feel protective of. It's pretty special place that is kind of the artery for a larger special landscape. So,
What do you want people to know about the Blackfoot? Or maybe you don't. Maybe you want to keep it secret.
well, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. You can keep it secret. I think you need to sell it in a way and honor it in a way that convinces other people to take care of it. I think going back to A River Runs Through It, I always found it so disappointing or arrogant for people to say that they resented that book or movie and the people that came out. And I think there was a lot of people that fell in love with the river and fell in love with Montana because of that. And those are the people that you want here. You want people to have an affinity for it and a love for it. And I think going back to your original question, that I would want people to know that it is a very special, very vibrant, and alive source of energy for this whole community and this whole area, and it needs to be respected as such and thought highly of. I have as much fun floating down the river in a raft or on a paddleboard or a tube with a group of friends, enjoying the summer sun and watching the river and having good times. And I'll have as much fun doing that as hiking down to the river and sitting somewhere for a while, just nice and quiet, and watching the world go by, waiting for animals to come down or just listening to the water.